you've looked at pronunciation textbooks, IPA alphabets, mouth charts, videos, that might just be to learn one or two sounds, but English has at least 44 sounds. So are you going to remember how to make each one of them every time you talk? There must be a better way. There is actually, because all 44 of these sounds have these things in common. So if we follow these 3 tips for every sound, we can make every sound more natural.
Disclaimer.
Mouth position is still important, but you can have perfect mouth position and still have a heavy accent. On the other hand, if you do these steps, you can still sound natural even if your mouth position is not in the right spot, or even if your name is Captain Accent. 1. Breath. Watch my hands. Did you see a difference on that second time? The first time, my hands didn't really move at all. This is because I did most of my projection from my lungs up here. The second time, my hands moved in towards my back. That time, I used my diaphragm more, which is around my stomach. It's here. This is the key. When you speak in American English, you want to feel your diaphragm engage more. Too many English learners are speaking from here instead of down here. There's another way to check yourself. Put your knuckles on your ribs. Breathe in and breathe out. What happened? Your ribs expanded when you breathed in. And when you breathe out, your ribs contracted. When you speak in American English, you want movement to happen, especially in your diaphragm. If I speak like this from my lungs, there's really no movement. If I speak like this from my diaphragm, I can feel the movement come, especially at the end. The reality is that many other languages do not let this much air come through the throat, and they also do not really engage the diaphragm much, which then causes your placement to rise. Placement is where you project sound from the most. E sounds really high and my throat is closed off. E sounds low and my throat is open. Which sounds more like American English to you? E. In general, lower is better. And your body is actually trying to let you know if you're too high. When I say E like this, well, my jaw, my teeth, my cheeks, and maybe even my whole head start to shake. Now, I don't feel anything in my head. It's all down in my chest and throat area. So if you feel any movement up here at all, that means that your placement is high. Part of the problem is people are becoming so focused on their lips and making the sound like their first language that it's tensing everything up. For instance, if I say ooh, but I really focus on rounding my lips like ooh, that might make my whole sound tenser and close my throat. Compare that again. Ooh. Ooh. Or if I think that an L always needs to press my tongue high against the top of my mouth, I might say pool instead of pool. That's right. This low placement is for vowel sounds. Ooh. Ooh. Consonants. N. N. Words. Little. Little. Sentences. My name is Geoff. My name is Geoff. In fact, consonants may be one of the biggest reasons your placement goes high and your sound isn't natural. Say this word, pain. Now be honest, did you say pain or did you say pain? Pain, pen, or something else? The problem with pain is you're adding a vowel sound before the consonant. Pain. Do you hear that? Pain. The problem with pain is that even if that A sounds perfect, that N is so tense that everything else becomes tense. And the problem with pen is that the vowel is so short, which leads to the third key for making sounds more natural in American English. English has more vowels than most languages. That means that the tiny little differences can completely change the meaning of a word. Seat, sit, set, sat, for example. Do you say all those differently? Let me know in the comments. Going back to consonant stuff, to find out if your consonants are too strong, take a word like pain again. Remove the consonants and just say the vowel A. Now add a consonant back into it. Pay. Now we can add the rest of the word. Pain. So again, A, pay, pain. This vowel should sound the same every step. A, pay, pain. A, pay, pain. Say that, in fact, 3 times, but this time don't stop the breath from flowing. A, pay, pain. A, pay, pain. A, pay, pain. If you find yourself saying something like a pin, that means that your vowel is very weak and that your consonants are very strong. Look, if you keep breath flowing from the beginning to the end with a tenser diaphragm and the more open throat to let more air through, you keep your placement low and you emphasize vowel sounds and weaken your consonant sounds, your mouth position ends up becoming so much less important. In fact, I can say all the vowels in English without even really moving my lips. A, E, O, U, Oi. And if you keep these tips in mind, you'll be able to as well, especially if you keep the breath flowing. Get more breathing exercises to help in this video.